Oh, me. Well, it's Thursday night. Let's see if we can get a few people in here, get a little chatting done, get a little bit of work done here at the same time. I'm out here at the dealership, at the Napa dealership, getting ready to see if I can get a few people online here. I know they're not expecting me on a Thursday night, so it will be a surprise if we can get anybody. I haven't seen anybody yet. There we go. Hey, Joshua. Hey, Shoestring. Yeah, it's my FedEx brother there, isn't it? Yeah. I hope everybody's doing okay this afternoon, this Thursday afternoon. Thought I would jump on here just for a little bit and see what's going on. I've been trying to get my Savannah trucks and everything going good down there. And hey, Craig, how are you? Hey, Jim. Glad to see a few jumping in here. Going pretty good, Joshua. How about you? I'm trying to just get a few things done out here at the dealership. Like I said, I turned everything around. I've got all my security cameras right here. You'd see I got about 20 security cameras over here to the right of me there. Hey, Ralph, how are you? Ralph, are you doing okay now? Are you in good shape? Well, that's good, Joshua. Now, are you out of high school or in college? You're something like that, aren't you? Aren't you still in high school or just graduating from high school? I can't remember everything, but I thought I picked up on that last time we were chatting. Yeah, I'm out here trying to just knock around a little bit. We've done some work here. This is my office, and we're doing some work back here. No, I hadn't got my green screen. I didn't put it up. I didn't know if I might put it up later. I got the real background behind me. I hope the green. Do y'all like the green screen? I don't know if y'all like it or not. I didn't play around with it today. I can put it up, and it's a little bit of work putting up, and then you get some artifacts. I noticed I'm even getting artifacts tonight here on my hand. I don't know if the camera's doing that or if it's the lighting or something, or if it's got I don't know if it's got I don't think it's got the green screen thing lit up on here. I have to look at it and see. Oh, wait a minute. My camera resolution is way down. Let me get that to high def there. See if this is not a little bit better. Yeah, my resolution. Is that any better, guys? Let me change the lighting a little bit. Now that I've changed the resolution, probably need a little tad more lighting. I was just experimenting earlier, and now the artifacts are still in there a little bit. So, Joshua, you're still in high school. You're going to graduate next year. Starting to get better. Are you back home now, Ralph? I hope. Oh, they moved you to recovery. Okay, for a few more days. Okay, well, that's good. I hope you can get over that. I know you've had a fit for the past month or so. That COVID's been tough on you, hasn't it? Yeah, everybody seems to be jumping in here. I hope everybody's enjoying themselves, and I hope everybody's having a good Thursday evening. I decided to, like I said, come out to the dealership and just kind of knock around a little bit. Let me kick this light. Now that I changed the definition on that, I believe I need to put a little more light to the subject. Yeah, I know y'all definitely want the best picture of me that you can possibly get. See all my imperfections with it on high definition. Yeah. Yeah, I hope that looks a little bit better, I think. So can you see my FedEx logo a little bit? Well, it's artifacting a little bit. StreamYard does it a little bit different than the other, but I like StreamYard. It's got some things that maybe not the best, but some of them I like. I tell you what, Shoestring, if you're a number 3 on the city drivers, I believe I would stick to that. How much of a raise would you get going to line haul? I mean, you're getting paid hourly wages on the other. You know, don't. Do you get to carry your seniority with you? Because if you can't carry your seniority with you and move on up, then you may not be the best move right now, because things are so volatile out there right now. I'd hate to do anything that was not a 100%, guarantee. So I don't know if I would make a big jump. No, I don't, Joshua. I don't see tool trucks. They don't come by. Yeah, FedEx pays pretty good. I mean, they as a contractor, I do fairly good. I can't complain. It's I mean, I've been at it 33 years, so if it didn't pay pretty decent, and it's like everything else, it depends on how you budget yourself and how you run a business, as if you'll make money with it. I mean, I know guys, they get paid the same rate that I do, and they're not successful with it. So it is what it is. You've got to be smart about your business, whatever you are. I mean, you can't overspend, but you can't underspend either, and you can't shortcut too much. Well, hey Rigo, how are you doing from Southern California? Ralph's out there in California too. Now you're where, in the San Diego area, Ralph? Am I remembering that right? I know you're out there in Southern California. Yeah, it's just what, 5:30 out there right now. 5:34 out. Yeah, okay. Shoestring, was that a guaranteed 105, or is that as far as you would lose all of your seniority? I mean, the reason I'm saying that, if they start cutting back, you'd be one of the first to go too, wouldn't you? I mean, you're in Los Angeles. So, okay. Boy, I tell you what, that governor that mayor out there is killing all the businesses in Los Angeles, isn't he? It's Sunday morning at 9 a.m., Joshua, on Eastern Standard Time. Joshua, where do you live? I can't remember where you lived. I take a little bit of sun drop here. That sun drop is a little bit like Mountain Dew. Only that's a drink that's made here in the Carolinas. It's a citrus. Actually, it's a little bit stronger than Mountain Dew. If I want to get a caffeine buzz, I get a sun drop. Okay, so you are in the, yeah. Yeah, the governor out there the governor's a little bit strange too, but well, that Los Angeles mayor, I mean, he seems to think he's Hitler or something. Wants to, they're gonna, for the people that aren't voting for Trump, though, I think they're going to push more people towards Trump, if even liberals, to get away from the dictatorship that they've got going on out there. Deeper, Wisconsin. That's the name of the town. Is Deeper? I don't know. I don't know where Deeper, Wisconsin is. Is that near Oshkosh? I don't. or Madison. I don't know very many small towns in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a cooler state, isn't it? You probably still have a lot of cold temperatures up there right now. I know that, of course, we've been cool down here this past week. It's been rainy and cold down here. We've had about, I think it's in the mid late. I'll see if my temperatures up here on the computer. No, this one doesn't have it listed, but I think it's well, I guess my iPhone would. So does that have a temperature on it? Or I can ask the temperature. I'll ask the smart one in the bunch. Weather.
It's 60 degrees and cloudy in Cherryville.
Okay, that's what she said. Weather tomorrow.
Tomorrow's forecast for Cherryville is 75 degrees with scattered thunderstorms.
That's not too bad. You're headed up to Sturgeon Bay. Now, Sturgeon Bay, now which part of, I guess that's, if it's Sturgeon Bay, I would imagine it's on the lake side anyway. Oh, Craig, Joshua knows where that is. Okay, that's good. Well, deeper Wisconsin, where is it toward the middle of the state? Okay, you could keep your company, but you'd be at the bottom of the line haul board. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was getting at. I mean, the 105K is potential, but, you know, it's the old bird in the hand's worth two in the bush type thing. I mean, if you're third on the seniority list on the city runs, and you can kind of call your own shots on your hours, you'd be better off, I think, unless you just like the line haul better. But line haul, now, does their line haul go out and come back the same day, or does it go out and stay out overnight? I mean, I know different divisions do different things. Is all theirs meet points? Yeah. I mean, that to me is part of it. I mean, if you can if you can get out there and get in and out the same day, or if you got a sort of relatively same schedule all the time, but you're probably going to be on the extra board, won't you? Oh, it's all out and back from Greenville, so you're running runs on line haul like down toward Florence or out to Charlotte and Raleigh, and that how far north and south and east or west are they going? Oh, it's right about Green Bay. Okay. Yeah, that's I mean, that's the scary part about that shoestring is that, I mean, is the risk and the reward going to be worth it? And, you know, as far as lifestyle, hey, Everyday Fleet Tech. Yeah. Are you doing okay? Are you Fleet Tech? Are you at home or are you at work? Charlotte, Greensboro, and Richmond's okay. Now, are y'all paid mileage? Y'all paid mileage on that, or y'all paid hourly rate? I imagine it's mileage, isn't it, on that shoestring? Yeah, that's yeah, you're at work, are you? Okay, that's well, it's good you're getting back to work. Good you're getting back to work and able to do some things. I'm out here doing a little bit of work myself at the dealership, trying to get a few things straightened up. I got this whole office in here I need to get straightened up, because this one is mine. The one you see me in a lot of times is the one across the other part of the building. That's my wife's. Hers stays way neater than mine, but that's to be expected. Yeah, it's now everyday fleet tech. Are you second shift all the time, or what I used to call second shift? What do you do? Go in about 3 and get off at 11, or what kind of shift are you running? Or you just are you running an extended first shift, coming in like noon and getting off at 10 or something? I mean, different ones have different schedules like that. Are the airlines getting kicked back in a little bit better? Yeah. Now you're at Delta. Is that where you're at, Fleet Tech? Well, that's good, Joshua. Now, are you taking a mechanics class in school? So the maintenance side's still hurting. Yeah, I bet so. I bet there's well, of course, I guess they can get caught up on some, but I would imagine you've done all the PMs and everything that you can do almost if they're not flying. Are you in one particular area, Fleet Tech? Are you doing motors? Are you doing the engines, or are you doing welding, or I don't know. An airline mechanic, that's an entirely hey, Arthur. Did you? Okay. Well, take the truck that gosh, hold on a second. I have to double check. Take the one that what you call it? What's the other boy you used to switch with? Jose. Yeah, take Jose's truck. Okay, hold on. I'm looking it up right now. Give me a second and I will look it up. Jose should be back. All right. Jose Medina. Yeah, he's been back. Jose's driving 150654. All right, just switch with him if you want to. All right, see you. Sorry about that, guys. Real work. Had to dispatch a driver there, changing a few things up here. What kind of laptop you got every day? That's some of my old expertise there. I don't know if you can see over here. That's what I do. This desk over here is a little bit of a tech desk. I used to build computers years ago. I'm still a high tech redneck, and of course my son's an electrical engineer. He and I used to do a lot of that. We like doing that. I got one back over there on the other side it's an i7. It's an older one, but it had an i7 processor in it, one of the older processors, but a good processor. And upgraded the RAM in it the other day, bumped it up to 64, and so it'll kick butt a little bit now too. So I like stuff like that myself. Or are you just updating the hardware or the software? Hey, Trucker's Life. You're in Rugby, North Dakota, geographic center of the continent. That's about right. That's I was getting ready to say, yeah, that's right in the middle of the United States there, isn't it? As far as the not north and south, I guess if you go straight down below where you're at, you'd be in the middle of the entire United States, probably around St. Louis or somewhere down in there, or a little bit west of that maybe, or Kansas City. I can't remember where the middle of it all of it is, but yeah, the geographic center of the continent Yeah, I guess it is the continent, not the United States. Oh, you got a tough book? Yep, I got one right. Hold on a second. Got one right here. There's a tough book right there that I'm upgrading myself. This one's got the scan codes and everything on it. So yeah, I know exactly what you got there. All right, Everyday Fleet Tech. I'll catch you later. Get back out there and don't get run over by a plane now. Yeah, he's yeah, I guess Lincoln, Nebraska probably would be somewhere. I knew somewhere in the Midwest out there, Nebraska or St. Louis, Missouri, all those areas sort of kind of tend to be toward the middle. But yeah, Lincoln probably would be I guess if you just to dot it out, probably the middle of the United States. I never have been to Lincoln, Nebraska. Actually, I don't even know if I've even been to Nebraska. I've been most of the other states, but Nebraska, I don't think I've been to Nebraska. I've been more of a regional southeastern driver. I've gone to the East Coast and I've gone to the West Coast. But as far as going the Dakotas and Idaho, Iowa, and all that, I haven't been. I've never actually driven out through there with a truck. But I never did want to be that much of a line. I've stayed more regional for a lot of reasons, and I like that. I don't mind driving throughout the whole United States, but I don't want to. There's certain areas I really don't want to drive a truck. I don't want to get stuck up on in the upper parts of Wisconsin and North Dakota and everything else in the wintertime. And the wintertime is a long time up there too. Y'all, the winter up there starts in September and finishes in June almost. I mean, y'all have about 2 seasons, winter and summer. It seems like. I know you don't. I mean, I know it's more than that, but I've got some friends up there in Minnesota, and they were talking about their snow just the other day. And Joshua, you probably had some too up there in Wisconsin too. And it just boggles my mind where I live thinking about snow this time of year. And we, in the Carolinas, we had some, I think, frost up in the mountains. I think a little bit of snow flurries up, but that was in the mountains of the Carolinas, nothing down here where I live in the Piedmont. And, we've had very, very little snow this year. We usually don't get much snow at all, but we've been almost nil as far as, I think we've had a couple of flurries. We had a couple of days where it snowed and it melted almost the same within just an hour or two of coming down. So that's the way it goes. But what are y'all guys out there doing tonight? I'm curious to see what y'all are up to. Just let me know. And we're trying to. But doggone, these artifacts are still coming. I don't know why I get artifacts on my hand. You see that? Looks like I got a tattooed hand. I don't know what that's all about with that. But that's on StreamYard. I don't know why. I don't think it's the camera. I've got a good high def camera, but I don't think I've got two of these Logitechs. I might have to try the other one, see if it does the same thing. Let me catch up on my reading here. Let me go back in here. I'll throw some of y'all on there. All right, using Oregon. And Trucker's Life, I like that logo there. And there's Fleetex. But yeah, we're as far as I'm getting all kind of, I'm getting on my computer here. I get all kind of notifications, all kind of junk and everything. But as far as, let me see, I'm going to have to double check one other thing on the log here right quick. I'm trying to do two things at the same time. Let's see. See if Steven's got out here. Okay, good. Got him headed. And then let's see where we stand with Parisi. Okay, he's still on his way in. Almost back though. All right, that looks good. Yep, I can at least kind of check on the guys as they're coming in and out and all that sort of stuff while I'm out here. I hope I hadn't bored you too much tonight, guys. I hadn't really. I'm just sort of laid back. My wife had an operation today. It kind of consumed me. My wife had a gallbladder operation this morning, so I've been up since 5 this morning with her. We had to get her over to the hospital by 5:30. No, I do not maintain any trailers. Just I own the tractors, and I maintain my tractors, and I use their trailers, but they have their own trailer and trailer shop, so I don't do anything like that, David. It's just the only thing I maintain is my trucks. Of course, they're strict on that. Don't know where Heavy Wrench is. He's probably working. He hasn't jumped in here. I just jumped over. I just jumped online today. I didn't do anything in particular other than just sit down in front of the computer, turned on the lights and the camera and said action. Didn't prepare anything. I decided I'll just get out here and chit chat a little bit this afternoon if anybody wanted to talk. And that's basically where I'm at, Joshua. I didn't have anything major planned. Just kind of trying to kind of relax. Like I said, I've had a busy day with my wife's situation. She's at home, basically about knocked out on the drugs, I guess, because she was feeling pretty woozy a while ago. So I don't have anything major going on in my mind other than just maintaining the trucks. And I picked up let me straighten up here a little bit. I picked up a real good mower today. I bought myself a mower to go behind either my Toolcat or my Dixie chopper, so I can mow a 12-foot swath now. It's a 6-foot mower, and then I got both of those are 6-foot mowers, so I can mow 12 feet at the same time. So that's where I've been doing that today and everything else. I'm kind of excited about getting that and see if I can't knock out my mowing a lot quicker. I mean, I'm just what the hell was that? I'm getting all kind of scam stuff jumping on there, but I'm trying to get it so I've got a couple of big fields that I have to mow, and that way I can mow that. And then even out here at the dealership, I've got about 8 acres. Hey, Renegade, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. I hope you're doing all right. Renegade, are you, so you and I, did we talk about you jumping online? Do you have a camera and everything? I can add you to the room here and we can talk if you want to. I didn't know if you have a good camera and a good setup. If you do, I can try to put you online, send you an invite, because I'm on StreamYard and I can add people in. Yeah, I put you a blue wrench in there last time. I hope you didn't mind that. I have to go back to the other screen to do that. But yeah. Okay, so you don't have a good one. Now, Joshua, let me ask you. Now, you're a young man. Do you have a good camera or whatever? We can let everybody see who you are if you do. Well, you're welcome, Renegade. Yeah, now if you want to get a good little camera, these little Logitech 920s are very good little cameras. I got a 920, and I think this is the 922 up here. The 920 is my favorite though, and they're a high def camera, and you can get a pretty good screen with those. So if you ever want a camera, and it's got the microphone and everything built into it, and just a couple other features too. So the Logitech 920 is one I would recommend to people. If you're in the, if you want, of course you can get it in Amazon and a lot of other places too, but it's usually about 50 or 60 bucks. Not very expensive. Not too awfully bad expensive. But you can find it out there for around that, I think. I haven't checked lately. But I've got a couple of those. I got a 920 in the other room, and I think this is a 920. I was a little bit disappointed with the 922. It's got they tried to do a couple extra features on it, and it really didn't pan out. Not on the Mac anyway. I run Macs, so it doesn't on the Mac. So I don't have the additional software really doesn't apply to a Mac. Not like it does on a PC. Well, Renegade, what are you working on this week? Are you working on some interesting things? Trying to think who else. Yeah, the chat room's a little bit low tonight. A lot of my regulars don't know that I'm going to be on here on a Thursday night, or when I jump in here on a Thursday night, so I don't get the traffic that I always do. So now, what is that? I look at Renegade's icon there. I don't know what he's working on. I can't tell. Yeah, I'm just. Oh, you're working on a few Harleys. Okay, is that what you're working on in that screen there, Renegade? I couldn't tell what that was. Yeah. So now, do you have a Harley shop, or do you work in a Harley shop? Is that what you do, Renegade? Yeah, I'm just. Okay. So you're out working tonight then, are you? Doing like a lot of people. A lot of people, I know I do that. I work all during the day, and then I come out and I do a kind of a laid back, relaxed work out here at night sometimes. Oh, you're just at your house. Okay, I got you. You got a shop at your house, or do you have you just sitting back and relaxing tonight? There's nothing on TV, that's for sure. Of course, and then last night, was it last night? I believe it was. Yeah, that last night I watched the NASCAR race. Of course, I don't know if y'all have seen, I kind of, because I'm tied in with Napa, of course, and our Napa car looked like it was going to win the race with Chase Elliott until Kyle Busch decided that he wanted the spot too quick and came up on Chase Elliott and spun him out with about 20 laps to go. And then it rained it out after the caution. So we definitely, I think, would have been in the catbird seat had we got around Denny Hamlin. Of course, I mean, I'm between a rock and a hard place. That was my Napa car and my FedEx car, both of them at 1 and 2 there. So it's where does my loyalty lie at that point? I've got the FedEx car won, and our Napa car got spun out. So, but since I own a Napa franchise, I kind of pull heavy for that. And plus, I got a bunch of Chase Elliott's fenders out here, and I got a fender, a hood, quarter panel, and what else? I got like four pieces of different cars out here in my showroom. And Landon, my buddy that works for Hendrix, is able to pick that up for me over the past couple of years. Got me a lot of good stuff that I was able to put. Plus, I got his old Napa fire suit. He used to actually, when Chase was in the Xfinity, Landon was his gas man. And then when both of them moved up to the Cup, well, of course, I think Landon was still already at Cup level then too. He does Cup and Xfinity. He doesn't do the Xfinity every week, but he does the Cup every week. He's the gas man for the 24 car, and he's also a partner with me. He and his wife are coming in, and we're bringing them on to be partners with us and take over my business one day. So that's my connection with Landon Walker. Big old boy. Used to be Clemson. He was a lineman for the Clemson football team up until I think he graduated 2010 or 2011, somewhere around there. And then he's been with NASCAR ever since then. He's been down at Hendrick Motorsports for the past 7, 8, 9 years or whatever. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna be like Johnny Cash. I'm gonna get one piece at a time. Okay, you posted your Matco Toolbox tour yesterday. Okay, now what's your yours is just Renegade Garage, isn't it? I mean, yeah, I had to get everybody to go to Renegade Garage and check out your site and see if we can't help you boost yours up and everything. Well, how are you, North Carolina trucker? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you're trying to just trying to get some work done here tonight. Mainly just sitting back and relaxing. I stopped by a buddy of mine's restaurant and picked up a couple of good Southern hot dogs here with all the chili, mustard, and onions, and ate those. Now I'm gonna have heartburn later tonight. Yeah, everybody have to check out Renegade Garages. See your Matco tool. How big of a Matco toolbox do you have? You got a big upright, or is it just a one like a bureau type thing? I'm toolbox poor. I'm not a big proponent on the toolbox because I don't have to have. And I explained this to somebody the other day. I own all the tools in my shop, and my guys don't bring tools to my shops. So I'm the owner of everything. So I don't really put a lot of money into the toolboxes. I put the money into the tools, and I buy just some decent toolboxes. I've got a bunch of Husky boxes. I've got a bunch of channel lock boxes. Is it channel lock? No, not Channel Lock. What kind is that? No, Milwaukee. That's what it is. Milwaukee. I said Channel Lock. Milwaukee boxes, the red ones. And then I've got one. I got one Snap-on box that I bought off of a friend. He retired as a mechanic, and he wanted me to buy all of his tools. So I bought all of his tools and his toolbox, and got a pretty good deal. I probably got $30,000 worth of tools, or 25,000, and his toolbox, and I gave him a good price, but nowhere near that. I was able to I got a retirement price out of it. What I paid for the tools and the toolbox and everything wouldn't buy a good toolbox today. Yeah. I do like the fact that, Snap-on, and some of them do have on these hutches have mine. My Snap-on box is 31 inches deep. It's good and deep and everything. And, they do a pretty good job. But his Snap-on box was probably, excuse me. I would imagine that his Snap-on box is probably 25, 30 years old. 25 probably, I bet, at least. And but Roger retired about 3 or 4 years ago, and he came over. He said, "You need to buy all my tools." I said, "How much?" And he told me. I said, "Roger, I don't need to spend that much on all that." And he said, "I'm gonna give you the box. I'm gonna give you all the tools, everything." He said, "You can't buy half of that for what I'm gonna sell it to you for." And he was right. So I went ahead and bought all of his, and he had some specialty tools that I really liked. Some tools that he had actually modified for engines and everything, for some Cummins engines and a few others that he had actually sort of invented himself, which are pretty neat. Well, I didn't even know you left, Joshua, but I'm glad you're back. So you got one that's 87 inches wide, 31 inches deep. How tall is the hutch? Is it about neck high? Of course, I don't know how tall your neck is. That's kind of odd, wasn't it? You could be real short and it'd be neck high. Probably what? Yep. Yeah, we'll have to. Like I said, everybody had to go over to Renegade's site and everything. Check out his box and check. Is it a very long video? You go through all the drawers and everything. That's what everybody seems to like, is all the drawer layout and stuff like that. And which I like. I watch them too. See what different people have. Yeah, I think a lot of men are. I'm like that too. I'm a kid in a candy store, even at my age. I mean, like I said, I bought that. I was tickled to get that mower today. I mean, I bought a DR mower, one that pulls behind my other lawnmower, and it's well built. I like DR mowers and DR equipment. I've had a couple of theirs, and they're well built pieces of equipment. And they had it on sale. It was I think it was at 2,800. Then they marked it down to 25, and then they had like 400 or 500 off. I still end up paying a good little bit. I think it's about 2,200 or something. But I went ahead and got that but it's going to do what I want to do and save me a lot of time. So I don't mind getting a good mower. Like, it's got a 14 horse Briggs on it, and it's pulled behind this electric start, and it's got a well built frame, and it'll help me around my pond. I've got a pond around my house and everything, and it'll help me to be able to get down on the banks a little bit better without having to get my track hoe out there and cut it with my track hoe. So I should be able to kind of swoop down in there without getting too close to the pond. Yeah, from the ground to the top of the hutch. How much is it? What is it, about 60 inches? Or, well, no, wouldn't be, probably 50 inches, probably, like a lot of hutches. Now, is it a hut? Is it a overhead hutch and everything too? Or I'll have to watch the video, won't I? I'll answer my own questions if I can do that. Joshua, do you have a camera? 6 foot. Wow, that is a tall one. The cost of homes, the average cost of homes in North Carolina, I would say is in the neighborhood of around 200. That would be a 200,000, 175 to 200,000 would be. Well, Chris, are you talking new or used too? I mean, if you're talking old, I mean, you can get older homes, different prices. I mean, you can get them anywhere from 95,000 or 75 to 100,000 on up. But an average home sale for just a medium 3-bedroom home would probably be in the neighborhood of around, I want to say 175,000. Yeah. Yeah, probably 175,000 for that. New homes are going to run you a little bit more. You know a buddy that goes to Arizona. It goes to Arizona. Are you talking about college or what are you talking about? Are you talking about drives to Arizona? I don't know. Now, Ralph, now the cost of houses out where you're at I used to have a first cousin that lived out there in California, and he actually sold his house and started renting a mobile home out there, and then the darn mobile home was expensive. A North Carolina trucker, do you own your trucks or you drive for someone else? I was thinking you drove for somebody else. Oh, you got 2 Volvos. Okay. Now, you owner operator with that, or who are you leased on to with North Carolina Trucker? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Ralph. I mean, I've seen the houses out there, like say 700, 800,000, and over here, the same house would probably go for 75,000. I mean, they're 10 times higher in price, and it seems to have been that way for years too. Because I remember I had a friend that moved from here in Cherryville and took a job out in California with the same trucking company, Carolina Freight, that I was with. And he took a job out there, stayed out there about 10 years. And then a house that he bought and this was in the 70s, he bought it for, I think, 50,000 and then sold it for 200 and something thousand. Of course, that same house would probably be $1 million now. And then he came out here and was able to build a huge house because he had such a profit. You're on with Premier. Okay, well that's good. What year model Volvos you got? Have you got some of the newer ones or the older ones? I've got a Volvo Wrecker. I've got it's a pretty good truck. It's got an N14 with an 18 speed. (2015, 26). Well, that's good. So you got the Volvo engine, or do you have what do you have? What engine do you have in it? Do you have Cummins or Volvo or Detroit? What or DD15s? What's in your? A lot of those year models have the Volvo engines in them. You got the D13, so you got the DD13 Detroit. Yeah. We use the DD15. I like that. A little bit larger engine. I like it. It seems to do us well. DD13, I've not, although I tried some out with the DD13, but I really wasn't that keen on them. I like the DD15 a good bit, though. Hey, JC Smith. Oh, the D13 is a Volvo. Okay, you just picked up a 2012 Cascadia DD15 10-speed with a bad engine. Ooh. Well, I tell you what, I hear there's not enough cores out there on those DD15s, hardly. You're just going to do a swap on it, JC? Okay, the D13 is the Volvo. Okay, yeah. I get my expert in here. He can explain. That's the guy. JC knows the motors. That's for sure. JC, are you out working in the shop or are you in the office? If you're in the office, hop online with me. I'll throw the invite out there and you can hop online. You're going to part it out. You want to hop online with me, JC, or are you too busy? I mean, I'd love to have you on here. Well, I'm getting spammed to death today for junk. Now, is that a tandem? Oh, you're on the road. You just bought an 853. Oh, good gracious. You're going to keep them all? Well, no, you sell everything. You're going to keep them till the next guy wants them, I guess. Now, is that Cascadia? Is it a tandem or a single axle? I've got a 2012 single axle. Those DD15s, they say when those spin the bearings on the crank, they're gone. So there's no rebuilding. They're just junk at that point. Yeah, that's right. You keep it all until the next guy wants it. So it's tandem. Okay. Well, you ought to be able to part it out pretty good. If a man could, if you could take one of these 60 series I had down here and put in one, they ought to be able to do it because the glider companies have done it. You know, I got two gliders down here that's got in Cascadias that they have the older 60 series. I don't know what all would be involved with that, how hard that would be, but I got some gliders. I got two gliders that have the 99 model 60 series, and that was built from somebody within Freightliner. The trucks actually came from Iowa. Somebody in Iowa built them as gliders. So you can make a glider out of that if you could. Get you a good 60 series, go in it, and you'd be fine. Wow, what did you do? Buy out a company today? A 13 Hino 21-foot rollback. Wow. That's pretty long. That's pretty long rollback for a Hino, isn't it? Is that the cab? That Hino's a cab over too, isn't it? It's like a snub nose or an old cab over. M2s and M2s. That's like that one I sold the other year, if I'm not mistaken. 2012. I had what model? What motors do you? Josh, what were you saying I do about it? I'm not following you. I had to look back on the conversation there. So you got the M2s. Now, were they have boxes on them, or is that just the M2 tractors by themselves? All those M2s got that commercial boxes on them and everything else. Because that's what I had, if I'm not mistaken. I believe I was an M2, and it had a C7 engine in it. Had a Cat C7, and I sold that at the auction. Okay, so Malk Industries makes the wiring harness to do that, so you can do an engine swap. Okay, the M2s have the Cummins. What they got? What they have? The M11. Okay, the Hinos are conventional. Okay, well that's good. So it's a conventional with a 21. Yeah, that'd make it more stable too if it had the conventional cab on it. So that thing's rated pretty high. It's GVW on it's probably pretty stiff. Malk Industry, where's Malk Industries at, JC? Okay. So the M2s do have 20-foot boxes on them. 97 to 180,000. Well, that's not too bad. $25,950 GVRW. Yeah. Okay. Well, that would be pretty handy for somebody. That'd be pretty handy for sure. That's about like these. I've had a few of the U-Hauls come in that almost that big. I don't, but JC does. Or I don't know. JC sometimes gets them before they get to an auction. But JC, if you're talking to JC, JC is in Ohio. He's up there in mid Ohio, and he's a wheeler and dealer buying out these companies and everything. Of course, he usually goes in and buys everything they have and keeps these companies from having to go to auction, I guess. But yeah, he when he can do like that, when he comes up with a big billfold, and he's got a big billfold a lot of times, he'll pay the dead inventors and a couple of the dead presidents and take their trucks away from them. Yeah, he buys out a lot of fleets. And he buys out a lot of fleets, and that way you can get your best deal because they'll lump it together, and a lot of guys will. Of course, sometimes you have to buy the junk along with the good, but if you got a junk, if you got a salvage yard of your own, you're okay, and that's what JC does a lot of times. Of course, I think JCC he already has got it pictured. This can go here, and this can go there, and we'll take this off of this, and he's already got swapping in his mind. Yeah, it's that's the way to make a few dollars like that. If you can buy it in fleet, I like going to, and I go to a good many auctions myself. I buy a lot of equipment, and a few other things. Matter of fact, some of these desks back here and a few other things. I've got a couple of these $high computer desks that I bought. I'm gonna actually convert some of these. I was checking on what I can do. I'm gonna actually convert some of these desks to work desks in the shops because they got mainly just 4 big aluminum legs and a nice top. Instead of using them as desk, I'm going to use them as work tables in the shop, and they'll make a good work table for me. And I got them cheap enough that I couldn't buy a work table for that price. Okay, you already had that figured out, huh? So you're going to take that'll probably make it a lot. It'd be worth a good bit more on that Freightliner than it would be on a Hino, wouldn't it? Especially if those Freightliners have got Cummins in them. It's got M11s in them, or what's it got in them? Okay, you sent me a picture of it. Let me see if I can pull it up. See if I can pull that picture up, and I'll put it online here. If I can put it online, let me see if I can find it right quick. Wait a minute, you probably texted it to me though, didn't you? Yeah, that's. Let me go out. Let's see if I've got my text program on my computer. I don't know if I do or not. Let me check. See. Let me check my computer, my phones here. You probably texted it to me. Not on that one. Let's check the other one. Okay. I didn't see it. I don't know what. Did you send an email, JC, or how did you send it to me? I didn't get it. I don't have it on that. Let me check messages on this again. I got one of my phones at home. You may have sent it to the one I got at home. I hadn't really got an opinion. It doesn't affect me too much, Ralph. Well, Fleet Tech's back. Well, that's good. I'm glad your plane got in and you got it pulled to the side, doing a PM on it now. But okay, you got them with the 6.7 Cummins and Allison. All right. JC, how'd you send me that picture? Oh, you text. Oh, 904, and that's the one I got at home. Okay. Yeah, I sort of say it. That must have been the one you sent it to. Was 9047. Yeah. I don't know if you've got my other. If you got the 860-4560, if you got that, I got that one right here with me. If you can text it again, if you can text it to that 860-4560. I've got it right here in my hand. The other one that 9047 is back at the house. I got the 5563 and the 9. I carry 4 phones, guys, so I only had to have 2 over here to keep everything going. All right, you sent it to the other one? Okay. Let me see if I can get it. All right. So let me check it. Ah, there it is. All right. Oh yeah, those are good looking trucks. What you got the tractor on the back for? You been working on the tractor again, JC? Oh, it's aluminum body too. Oh, so that'd be a good one. It looks like that is aluminum, isn't it, JC? Oh, you got EFI issues. Okay. So the Hino's got has it got a lot of miles on that Hino truck? Oh, that's got the drop piece that you can pull another car from behind too. You can tow one. You can tow one plus have 2 up on the bed, can't you? That's what it looks like. 21 aluminum with wheel lift. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Yeah, the wheel lift on it. That's what I was looking at. So you can actually run you could pull a car behind there, a car or pickup, and then 2 cars up on the bed. That'd be handy. Plus you got the see, it's got a light bar up on the headboard too, hasn't it? So that'll come in handy. It looks like LED lights too. I can't tell. Looks like, is that LED lights on the light board across there? Are you keeping that, or is that going with the truck? I guess at a price, all of it to go. Yeah, that's a good looking rollback bed. And if it's aluminum, won't have to worry about the old Ohio rust, will you? Yeah, but those M2s look good. Oh, that's the Hino there. I thought that was the M2, but yeah, that's the Hino. Well, what that looks, is that Hino got a bad engine in it or something, JC? I'm just wondering why you're gonna swap, because it's not a bad looking body on it, or just no power, or what's the deal on the Hino? Is it? Wish I had a way of throwing that up on the screen. I'd throw that up on the screen. It's on my text here. Yeah, I think a lot of people renegade. I think a lot of people are fans of the Snap-on. Snap-on makes a great tool, but a young guy like Joshua probably doesn't need to try to buy all Snap-on right now. I mean, you can start off with others, even like our Napa store carries Carlisle, which is less expensive, or Husky is a decent one that you could use that comes from Home Depot, and then graduate on up into Snap-on when you get to where you can afford it. You get into a big man's game up there when you get too many of those. But if you start off small, Joshua, I don't know how many tools you've got, but don't you can overcommit yourself with some of these big tools. You can get into a situation where you can you'll be paying more for a toolbox and tools than you will your first car, and you won't have a motor in it. But my theory, my theory on those tools like that, you can, especially a young guy, you can hang around and maybe go to some auctions, or find somebody getting out of the shop business and not spend a fortune. Yeah, we got some, the Carlisle brand tool is a pretty good. I mean, it's got a lifetime warranty on it, and I like them. They're good tools. And there's a lot of people that use them. Hey, kid, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, you'll know when you can step up. Yeah, pawn shop's a good place to get stuff too. I get them pawn shops or auctions. Auctions is probably where I bought the most, other than like I said, buying out somebody that's getting out of the business. I mean, and that seems to be a good thing. If you find somebody going out of business, somebody that's retiring as a mechanic, or just changing jobs and doesn't want to be a mechanic anymore, you can buy their tools a lot of times a lot cheaper than, probably half price what you can buy anywhere else, or even less. Although your tools not so much, but your toolboxes, you got to be careful if you buying one of these fancy Snap-on toolboxes and everything, because they are serialized and have you'll have somebody that maybe goes in debt for a Snap-on toolbox, and I've heard this happening. And then they'll say, oh, they'll put it online, say, I'm gonna sell this and whatever, sell it, and then the buyer does not realize that that box ain't paid for. And then that Snap-on guy can come back and pick that baby up. If you don't watch it, he can take out papers on it and get your box. And you'd have a fight between the guy that sold it and whoever, because there's a lot of people that have done that. And I've seen that happen a lot, and especially in these hard times now. You better watch stuff like that, because you might have somebody sell. I mean, that maybe they got enough credit to go out there and put $1,000 down on a $30,000 toolbox. They're making payments on it. They make 3, 4, 5, 6 payments. They decide they want to get out of it, and then they'll cut the price in half. And then somebody look at it and say, "Oh man, that's a great deal on that box," almost like you go out and buy it, and then come to find out he still owes the majority of the payments on it. So because they're not titled, but they do have serials on them and everything else, and you get in trouble. Yeah, now you can do that too, kid. Yeah, yeah. Mac tools are what CP is going after right now. CP tries to. He's jumping in there and getting the Mac tools. That's for sure. But yeah, I just caution anybody that when you do buy some of these things, because there is I'm trying to think of the code name on it, but there's the code when these people sell these boxes, these toolboxes, they have to, there's a consumer credit code type thing that they have to sign. And that box, and when they sign the agreement with Snap-on, if they're financing it through Snap-on, they'll tell you right quick, they can come back after that box if you don't pay for it. And if you sell it to somebody and don't pay for it, they can go after the next guy too. So they will get their money or their toolbox back or something. So you got to be careful with things like that. Yeah, and that's true. I mean, it just depends on what you want to do with your toolbox. I mean, I'm not as much into toolboxes as I am to tools themselves. I like good tools. The toolboxes to me is a filing cabinet, and that's my opinion. I mean, not everybody looks at it that way, and I can understand a guy who works in somebody else's shop. That's his livelihood. If he wants a good, toolbox and a hutch and everything else, he locks up. And a lot of the guys have computers in them and big screen TVs and a lot of different things, so they can be looking up stuff. And they got that's their whole work area. I can understand getting a pretty good box then, and if you're working within somebody else's domain. And like I said, myself personally, since I own all the tools in my shops and I own everything in there's mine, I don't worry about getting the fanciest toolbox, but I try to get the best tools that I can. And I want them to have good tools. Yeah, it's secured debt. Yeah, that's basically what I was trying to say. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They'll definitely look you up on that if you grab somebody else's. And so it's buyer beware on that, on these used boxes that somebody's trying to sell. And you know especially Snap-on, and uh, them Snap-on probably worse than anybody, because Snap-on's boxes are so high. I mean, the others are pretty high too, but I definitely know that Snap-on will go back after you. Yeah, 70 CUDA. Yeah, I had a 70 Roadrunner at one time. I bought a 70 Roadrunner new, and it was a nice little car. I had a friend that had the CUDA. I had a good friend that had the 70 CUDA. he had I don't know if he had the 426. I think he had a 383. I can't remember. But he definitely had a hot little Cuda. That thing was small as it was. I mean, it had as good an engine as mine and my Roadrunner. And it I've had a lot of those muscle cars. I mean, I came up during the muscle day time, so I was able to buy them brand new. I have helped out a few people that are broke down. I don't try to make it a business because of the fact that, I mean, we're just so busy in our shop, and plus liability and everything else. I don't have the liability that some of the major wrecker companies do. I mean, I got enough liability for my own vehicles, but I'm not for hire on my wrecker. I mean, you can get into some situations with that too. I mean, if something happens out there and you wreck or something else, you can cost yourself a fortune towing somebody else's equipment. So no, I don't do it as a normal situation, just in maybe a favor type situation with some that I do know, and I have pulled in a few, but not. Usually it's a friend and somebody that needs my help, and I'll probably take it to my shop and work on it. But I don't try to do that often. Oh, you got a 71 Duster. My mechanic has a 70 or 71 Duster drag car. He's got it, and he's got the the fancy frame and all kind of stuff in it. But he's got a Duster drag car, and I don't know what he's got in it. He's got a high dollar engine in it. I don't know what it is, but he's had that for several years. He keeps it in a van. He's got it in a storage trailer that he can. Well, he can tow it to the track and race it if he wants to. He used to drag race, yeah. I had my nephew used to have. He owned a drag car as a pretty good one. It was in the IHRA, and he was sponsored. He had there was a TV program it was called Moonshiners. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that or not, but there was a TV program that was made in this area called Moonshiners. That was made up, and I think the guys were from upper part of North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Bristol area, and somehow or another, my nephew got involved with that. But it was a monster of a car, and it was I guess it ran the I guess which division it was. Wasn't gosh, I don't know. It was. I'm not good with those divisions on that, but and I think it was in the IHRA, not the biggest, but the tier down, from the big boys. Yeah, that'd be nice if you could put a new setup and everything in it, Fleet Tech. Yeah, I had to see what Scott's car was, but it had all these fancy wrap on it about the Moonshiner and everything else, and it was I want to say it was a Camaro, I think. I mean, by the time it's all stretched out, and when it gets into being a drag car, it doesn't even look like anything really. Because I mean, that's one that you lift the whole thing. It wasn't a funny car; it was the next stage down from the funny car. So I don't know. That's big money when you get into that. Big money. I know when he was doing that, but now his son is getting up a little age, and his son that's his focus right now. His son is doing the quarter midgets and everything like that. So he's traveling all over the United States with quarter midgets now. I'm trying to catch up on my reading. Dropping hooks. Are you going after some more, are you, JC? Wow. Yeah, racing. I used to be. I don't know if y'all know who Benny Parsons is, but I used to do some work for Benny Parsons years ago, and we were at an event, and he told me, he said, Mike, he said, you know how to make $1 million in NASCAR, don't you? And I said, how's that? He said, well, you start with 2 million. He said, you'll be down to that million real soon. So basically, he would let me know right quick that yeah, you can lose the farm. You can spend the family farm on a NASCAR career, and it is very, very expensive. If you're not somebody like Rick Hendricks or Jack Roush or Ganassi or one of these guys, Richard Petty, and even Richard Petty's way down on the totem pole now. You'll spend a fortune. All right, Everyday Fleet Tech, pop back in when you can. A300 pulled up, huh? Yeah. Yeah, go get that A300 out of the garage there. So back in the 90s, you used to build race cars. Yeah, that's the old saying. Yeah, it's how fast you want to go. It's how much money you want to spend. Is how fast you want to go, and that still holds true to this day. They're trying to curb some of that with NASCAR, with all these new regulations, but I don't know how much of that they're able to curb because of the fact that it just. Is that somebody here? What am I hearing? I heard some noise here. Let me check my cameras right quick. What am I? Or is that somebody leaving another U-Haul? I've got a U-Haul drop-off, so it could have been somebody with a U-Haul drop-off. Let me check my cameras. I heard some unusual noises just then, but I don't see anybody. That's a good thing about having all the security cameras. I can turn around here and look right quick. And the good thing about it, if it's actually a person, if it detects a hot body or a person getting in front of the camera, it will actually show a graphic of a person. Well, it shows one right there. What's it doing? What the heck is that camera doing? Which camera is that? All right, let me check the others. I've got everything locked up, so I hope I ain't got a visitor from the east that I don't know about. I don't see anything, but I definitely heard a noise a minute ago. All right, everything recycling there. Huh. I do not. Well, that would be that camera right out there. You'll have to bear with me as I'm checking my. Yeah, lock and load, huh? Yeah. I don't have a machine gun. Yeah, I had a noise. I didn't know if y'all had heard it too, but something made a racket out here. I don't know if something just fell off of a shelf or whatever, but I'm checking I'm checking the cameras right now. I've got them just about in every angle that I can see all over the building. I don't know what caused that one to make a racket. Well, anyway, wait a minute, what? I see something. Thought I saw some. I'm locked into my office anyway. All right, where is that? Okay, that camera's. Where's that darn thing looking back to? If I got a ghost in here and I don't know it, I might have a ghost guy. Hold on one second, guys. Now I've got the door locked. Not that I'm a scaredy cat, but I'm not a fool either. Yeah. I don't think I have a visitor. I definitely had some noise. Like I said, I got a drop box out there for the U-Haul. I don't know if that was somebody messing with the U-Haul or what. But I don't see anybody. Oh, well. At least y'all be a witness. Y'all can call 911 for me if somebody does come in. Comet 65 Comet Cyclone. I had a friend, my brother always wanted one of those. He wanted to get a 65 Comet Cyclone because he graduated high school in 64. And that was one of the cars he had looked at. And I think he tried to buy one about that time. Yeah, I like it. I bought a new Renegade. I bought a new MacBook Pro. Got a pretty good deal on it too. I'll tell you where I got it. I got it from Amazon, and it was one of the new ones with the i9 processor. Had a terabyte SSD in it. It it's 6 core. It's a 6 core, and of course it's got the Retina display. And it was the larger laptop, the MacBook Pro 16-inch, and it was on a box that had been opened. In other words, somebody had bought it, didn't want it, I guess, shipped it back, and brand new. When I got it, you could see where it had been taped and untaped, but open it up is perfect. Wasn't anything wrong with it. It did not bother me in the least to get it like that. And I saved, well, they had it marked down to begin with, $300. And then they marked it down another $600. Anyway, I think it was like almost $1,000. Plus I had some points off of my American Express. And I took those points, and I ended up with not very much in a brand new MacBook Pro, and came out great. I think I ended up with 1,700 in it or something like that, but it was like a $3,000 computer, and I was able to get that just about a month or two ago. Love it too. It's a great, because I like Macs. I've got, as you can see, I got a over here. I got the old Mac Pro tower that I rebuilt, and that's got the 12 core, 128K of RAM. And it's pretty fast. It's a what's dual processor too. That's why it's 12 core. Yeah, I use that on mine too, JC, and I was able to get a great deal because of that. And like I said, it didn't bother me. I mean, because it has still got a full warranty, just like any other MacBook. But it had been opened. It was already on sale. It had been opened, and I think they $400 or $500 off because it already been pre-opened, basically sent back. And then I used my points, and I had very little in that MacBook Pro, and it's great. Love it. It's a fast machine. It does great editing too. That's what I've been using to edit. and that and the other Mac Pro over here that I've got. But I'm kind of computer. I'm a computer junkie when it comes to that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's now how far are you having to go to get those trucks, JC? Yeah, yeah. Well, you're like me. You use the points. I had about that $500 or $600 in points is what I had, and then like I said, flipped them over on Amazon. And was able to, get good quality out of that off your AMX points, and that's real money, and it came in handy. I've got a couple of the cards that are tied in with Amazon, and a couple of I got 2 American Express business cards, and plus a Discover and also an actual Amazon card. The Amazon card does good too. Their points add up pretty quick too. But I use it primarily. I buy a lot with it through the business, and then the other American Express, I'm using that a lot on the trucking stuff. I'm buying different items. I mean, I've got a drive shaft I got to pick up tomorrow. I'll probably use the American Express on that. I've got several radiators that I've had to redo, and I use the American Express on those. And stuff like that. And it builds up pretty quick for me. I'm trying to catch up on my reading here. Yeah. What are we talking about? 80. Somebody's talking about their health, I guess. I'm not. Y'all talking about cholesterol or something? I can't tell. Oh, you're a little over an hour away, and you picked up trucks yesterday, just doing trailers tonight. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that won't be too bad. Now, JC, you say that there's a guy's got a wiring harness that will change those over, because I may very well want to change over some Cascadias over into 60 series myself, because I got some older ones like that. I'd rather have a 60 in them than those DD15s. And if you can pick up a DD15 right, that's the way to go. Oh, you're talking about your sugar on that? Okay, yeah, your sugar. Yeah, don't. Boy, if somebody's was 389, they're out the roof. Yeah, I got to keep my sugar in check too. Now I bought one of those little heart monitors. I don't know if y'all guys have seen them, where you put two fingers on each hands on it, and it'll give you an EKG. And I bought that the other week. I love it. It's a neat little machine. And at my age, I need that. Malk Industries. They won't meet. Okay. So they've got it. But I mean, if you're putting a 60 series in it, you're not going to make it anyway. So if you got the wiring harness, then they've got the ones for the older, so the pre-emission ones. So you couldn't even use a 2006 or 5 engine then, could you? You'd have to use a 99 or 97 or something like that. C4 or N14. Yeah, the M14 engines, I love the N14. N14 is what I've got in my wrecker, and it's stout. It's 525 horses on it, 18 speed. It'll pull a building down almost. I may have to check those out, JC. Yeah, because if they've got the harnesses like that, I might see if I can't get it, because I've got a 2008 Mac that is a super nice truck, but the engine's bad. I wouldn't mind trying to see if I could throw a 60 series in it. And if they've got the wiring harness to fit it, it'd be great. Oh yeah, if you kid, if you got an N14 with a 18 speed, yeah, that's a hoss of a setup, depending on what you got it in. Mine's in a 98, 99 Volvo. That's what I got as a wrecker. But the way we got it set up, it'll pull anything with it. No, it's not a Mac E7. It was one of those. If I had an E7, I'd keep it. It's the Mac. Oh crap! It was the first year that they had the emissions. Basically, a Volvo engine's what it is. It's like the. It was when Volvo and Mac had merged, and 2006 I think was the last year that they put the E7s in those, and this was a 2008, and this was the first year that they put that Volvo engine / whatever, and it was terrible, terrible engine. I mean, those things like to broke me. I had a couple of them, and they were terrible. Couldn't keep them out of the shop. And what was so strange was my E7s that I had were so good. I mean, I had one E7 I put 2 million miles on, and it just chug-a-lugged forever. Yeah, I know it. That's the problem with it. And it's been yard art. It hadn't got that many miles on it. I'd love to be able to take that body. I mean, it's a good looking body and cab and everything, and take that and rebuild it and put a Detroit in it and make a nice truck if I could do it. But I don't care anything about that Volvo engine in it though. I mean, it would just take some modification. But if I had somebody that knew how to do that real easy, it'd be good. But that's beyond my pay grade. I don't know how to do that. And I had a Detroit specialist, and he said it would be costly. So I don't know. So right now it's yard art. But you can get the right person. If I had a J.C. Smith down here, that's probably what I would do, is get somebody to help me out with this yard art. My problem is I have too many yard arts. The wife says I'm gonna have to have another auction because I've got probably another 30 something trucks down here I need to sell right now. I need to get rid of some of the old the 06s and the 06s and 5s and 7s and a few others like that I've got. I need to get rid of, just take them for what they are. Some of them, a lot of 60 series. I've got I don't think I have any cats left anymore, but I got most of them are the 60 series Detroit with a 10 speed. Wow, man, you got a lot of things going on. Some tough stuff, hadn't you, Renegade? Yeah, too many trucks and not enough time. I know that'll definitely get you busy. My wife tells me I got enough projects to last me till I'm 105. So she doesn't want me to get any more new projects. She wants me to eliminate some of them that I have now. And she doesn't want me to don't be buying any more businesses. If I were to even hint around about, oh man, that'd make Joshua, you have a heart condition at your age? What you have? A murmur? Man, I hate to hear that you got a heart condition. Of course, you're spelling heart wrong there. HEART. So you got to get back in your 11th grade English class and learn to spell that right. Just kidding you, Joshua. It's HEART. My wife's a retired school teacher, so every time I see grammar like that jumps out at you, I go, "Whoops." Yeah, yeah. You were downsizing till next week now. I know the feeling, JC. I was doing the same thing with mine, and then this contractor called me from Savannah and says, I need to talk to you. I said, why? And he said, well, he had some problems. He had some problems on his contract, and he said, you need to buy my contract out. And I said, well, we'll talk. And that's what I ended up doing, buying it. My wife says, don't be buying anymore. So we need to get out of debt, not more into debt. But I'll never get out of debt completely. It is what it is. I ain't got the bankroll that JC's got. Yeah, I know it. A lot of people are bad. I just got Joshua's still in high school, so that's why I corrected him there. So the rest of us guys, we're out and about. We can make mistakes. All right, Joshua, you have a good night and everything. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't insult you by correcting your spelling. Just playing with you. Just playing with you, Joshua. You have a good night. You go study some more, get some stuff done, get ready to graduate next year. Joshua seems to be a good young man. I see him on a lot of different sites. He's really interested in this stuff. Yeah, I know a lot of you other guys probably see him out there too. Joshua tries to. He evidently likes the mechanical end pretty good, and that's what it takes is somebody with a little bit of excitement like that, and somebody that that's fresh wants to get it going. Yeah, I know it. Trucking companies are dropping like flies because all these rates they've killed some of the open market rates and everything, JC. And thank God I'm with FedEx and we're locked in with a contract. And the open board, my buddy that's got the Amazon contract and everything, it's killing him on the open board. Amazon tries to get it cheap as or nothing. It's working him hard because Amazon throws it out there so cheap on the open board, and then it'll get higher and higher closing down to closing time. In other words, if they got somebody to take the load at 3:00 and it's supposed to leave at 3:00, then by 2:30, if it ain't taken, then they'll bump the rates on up. But they're trying their best to get people for $1 a mile and stuff like that, $1.05 a mile and $1.10, or you can't buy fuel, pay your driver, and pay for your truck at that rate. But there's some of them out there that'll take it, and a lot of times it's one way, and then you're stuck to find something else back on the load board coming back, so you can be stuck. Yeah, the volume's picking up. We're slammed at FedEx right now. Huh. So you bought it on a short sale. Well, that's good. Yeah, great for you, bad for the trucking company. But I mean, the bank was probably, the bank wanted their whatever. I guess they took a loss on it too, probably. On a short sale like that, a lot of times you can pick up stuff 25 cent on the dollar sometimes, or 50 cent on the dollar, or whatever. Depends on what, how desperate they were to move it and what kind of shape it was in. All right, Josh, you take care. You get out there and get your education. Tomorrow night you'll know how to spell heart now. Just kidding you. All right. You take care, Josh. We'll see you. We'll see you out here on some of the other sites. Yeah, it's I hate to see what there's some of these trucking companies that were on the edge anyway. This pandemic has really pushed them over the edge. So some of these years, and I've, you've seen some of the big ones go out. I mean, what was it? I'm trying to think. Was it CCT? I mean, you'd see their is it Comcar? I believe that was the name of the corporation, Comcar. But I think there were CCT and a few other things on their trucks. And I'm gonna go down here and I'll put. Okay, so they took a loss. Yeah, the bank did. 30 cents on the dollar. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I've heard 25 cents. I got called the other day of another parts store that was going out. Of course, he wasn't a Napa store. It was a Parts Plus, and I didn't want any Parts Plus. I mean, I can't convert their parts either. So they was sort of worthless to me. I mean, I couldn't get a Parts Plus starter or whatever and make anything out of it. Yeah. Yeah. If you got the money in the bank, that's where you come out. That's where you come out. If you got the money and you can wire them money or give them cash or whatever you have to do. And if you can get it on 30 cents on a dollar, man, that's the way to go. Long as you don't have to sell it at 25 cents on a dollar. But I know you'll probably come out real good. And main thing, if you can turn a couple of quick sales off of it and get, a majority of your capital back, then the rest of it can kind of be gravy. I mean, I know I do that a lot of times. Well, and that's the other way to look at it. And that's probably what that guy, the guy at the bank and the guy at the fleet, both of them, and he was probably happy to be able to clear out the debt. I know he'd like to do it at a profit. I mean, we all would, but I mean, that's not always the nature of the beast. Yeah. Yeah, I understand, JC. I mean, but but there's going to be more and more of those, I'm afraid, because the government has got the squeeze on all these companies so much. I mean, that's like I was kidding the other day. We're talking about the stainless steel tabletops and everything. Yeah, you might see a lot of them in sales before long because there are going to be a lot of restaurants go out of business, and there'll be a lot of restaurant supply people that will have plenty of those, or these auctions will have plenty of those stainless steel tables. I know I've got a couple of them that I bought at it was a Hardee's that went out of business, and I bought a lot of this stuff that was in this Hardee's, and they had a couple of stainless steel tables that we love them. I mean, they're great to work for them in the shop. They clean off good and everything too, and just great work tables. So it's good to be able to convert some of that stuff sometimes. Some people don't see it that way, but I mean, that's like I said, this desk that I've got right here, I've got set, if y'all can see that, that's actually, and if you look up, it's got the setup so I can put two monitors on that. But I've got so many of these desks. Now I cut this one down. They come about, I think they're 6 foot, and I had the Richard and Herb. I had them to cut that one down to 54 inches, I believe, so I could fit it back here in this particular spot. But I decided instead of trying to sell them as desks and everything else, I'm gonna try to just convert them into good shop equipment. Yeah, I know it, Ralph, and that's the thing about it. You're going to see a lot of those kind of businesses that go out, and you're going to see fewer and fewer people that are going to want to go back into that type business. I mean, you can only sting these people so many times, and you take all these mom and pops type organizations that have gone out and they took their entire life savings, and because this has come through like that, and they've got them shut down, and they're going out of business, and they're going to lose probably all of their original investment and then some. Some of them probably will lose houses out of this it is not a pretty sight to see out there. Yeah, and that's what you know, if you're able to turn the money and you can get it 30 cents on the dollar like JC's doing, and then if you get, you know, if you get it 30 cents on the dollar, you can double your money and still be 50% better back, almost 50% better or cheaper than it would be on the open market. Because I mean, basically, say if you were to buy an item for $1,000 that would normally sell for $1,000, you bought it 30 cents on dollars. So you bought it instead of paying $1,000, you paid what, 300. And then if you were to sell it at 600, double your money, and the customer would still have something that's at least 40% off of the market price, and you've doubled your money. So you got to look at it in that respect. Yeah. Yeah, and you know, and it's a sad state that we don't have to be there, is my opinion. I don't think that this everything is spelled out to the general public like it is. We see now that it's about everything to get Trump, and we unfortunately that's a bad thing. It's ruining the country, you know, and these politicians are fighting amongst themselves to gain ground. And I think some people are seeing through some of this, and they're going to turn a lot of conservative or middle of the road people, who are suffering, and they're going to see, well, you know, who do I vote for? These people that helped put us in this bad shape, or you know, it are trying to keep us in this bad. We're having that problem here in North Carolina. And even Ohio, is the Ohio governor opening up anything, JC? I know that North Carolina has not opened up the bars. They're opening up a little bit for the restaurants tomorrow, but some of the restaurants say, well, I don't have the capacity to do that. Hell, I know it, Renegade. They've been trying to get him out since day one, even before day one. And that's coming out to bite him in the butt, I think, too. All right, JC, you take care. Y'all take care and everything. And guys, I might get off here too, because I look at the time and I got a few things to do. I got to get this ghost out of the building. So yeah, y'all take care. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm gonna end the broadcast. I've enjoyed having everybody in here tonight. Catch me another time. Sunday morning, of course, at 9 a.m. is when my regular show goes on. So y'all catch me at 9 a.m. on Sunday, and I'll definitely see you then. See you guys.